How did the border between the United States and Canada get settled? On this day in history, December 24th, 1814, in Ghent, Belgium, representatives from the United States and Great Britain signed the Treaty of Peace and Amity. In June of 1812, the United States declared war against the British in reaction to three issues: the induction of thousands of neutral American seamen into the British Royal Navy against their will, the British support of Native American tribes in the Great Lakes region, and the British economic blockade of France. The authorization from Congress was pushed through by a faction of members known as the War Hawks, who hoped that a war with Britain, which was already struggling against Napoleon and France, would result in the US gaining control of Florida and some territories in Canada. In the months following the declaration, American forces launched a three-point ground invasion into Canada, all of which were handily repulsed. At sea, however, the United States proved successful, and the USS Constitution and other frigates won multiple victories over their British counterparts. In 1813, the Americans had won crucial battles in the Great Lakes but were still under pressure as the British regained control and blockaded the eastern seaboard. By 1814, Napoleon had fallen, and the British were able to devote more resources to fighting the Americans. They were able to capture DC and burn down the White House, Capitol building, and others in retaliation. However, the British soon retreated, and in September 1814, the tide of the war turned decisively when the Navy won a critical victory at the Battle of Plattsburgh Bay. The British were then forced to retreat to Canada and abandon the US Northeast. With the American victory, the war concluded, and the US and the British signed the Treaty of Ghent in Belgium. Although the terms of the treaty did not address the key issues that sparked the war, they did open the Great Lakes region to American expansion and were seen as a diplomatic victory in the United States. It took 2 months for news to cross the Atlantic and reach the American public, in which the British forces tried again in January 1815 to attack New Orleans, but were decimated by General Andrew Jackson and an inferior force. When the news finally came, the American public felt a great deal of confidence, having won on so many fronts. If you've learned something, consider dropping a like and subscribing to my channel. Your support would mean the world to me.